Hello, welcome back. Today I will show you how to connect cables and IRF stack configuration on 3 switches. Here you can see this is the practical lab setup and the switch model is S5570, and I have 3 switches. You can see here this is switch A and the second one is switch B. On the right side you can see this is the switch C and the ICFP ports, and you can see I have 3 stack cables and there is the built-in SFP. The 10G SFP is already there with the stack cables. I will connect this cable as per diagram. Here you can see the console cable for configuration. Okay, let me start the connections. The switch A with switch B, port 53 and port 54 as per the diagram I have shown you in the start of the video. Let me take another stack cable. I will connect switch B with switch C, switch B port 53 and switch C port 54. You can see here with the SFP port, and the last cable I will connect between switch C and switch A, switch C port 53 and switch A port 54. And you can see on the screen I have connected all cables as per this port mapping, switch A, B and C. You can take screenshot of this. Now the ring topology is completed, all stack cable is connected. You can see here practically. Okay, let's move to the configuration part. Here you can see the switch port connection is already finished, and on switch A I need to configure logical port, stack logical port 1/1, and I will bind the physical port 1/0/53 and 1/0/54. Let's move to the CLI. Console cable is connected with switch A. You can see here, just let me run system view command and sysname, just write switch A. You can see switch A name has been changed. Now the next step, I will configure the priority just on IRF member 1, priority 30, because this is the master switch. And now let me show you the interfaces. Just display interface brief. The 2 interfaces, it's already connected in up, 1/0/53 and 1/0/54. You can see here. The next step, we need to shut down the physical interfaces. Just interface 10G 1/0/53 and shut down. This is very important. Before stack configuration, we need to shut down the physical interfaces and shut down the second port. Just quit from here. Now we need to configure IRF port 1/1, and just bind the physical port and IRF logical port group interface 10G 1/0/53. Enter. Just quit from here and bind the second port, IRF port 1/2 and port group interface 10G 1/0/54. This is the main stacking configuration 1/0/54. Enter and quit from here. Now we need to save the configuration. Just save force, and to activate the IRF port we need to run the IRF port configuration active command. Mostly engineer forget this command. This is very important. And last, just save configuration. Switch A configuration has been finished. Now let's move to the switch B. On switch B I need to configure the first thing. I need to change the member ID, then reboot the switch, then I will configure the priority 29, and last I need to configure IRF logical ports and physical port binding. Okay, let's move to the CLI. I have connected the console cable with switch B. Just go to the system view and change the name, sysname switch B. You can see here switch B name has changed. Now the first thing, we need to change the member ID, IRF member 1, renumber 2. Yes. Now to take effect this ID, we need to reboot the switch. Just quit from before this, just save configuration and quit from here and reboot the switch B. Just run reboot command, and yes. Now you can see here switch B is rebooting. It will take few minutes, like 4 to 5 minutes, but I need to pause the video to save the time but in your case you need to wait for a few minutes. And now you can see here I have started the video again, and switch B rebooting has almost completed. Just please enter to get started. Just enter, and the first thing you need to verify the slot, the member ID, just running display interface brief command. You can see here the slot has been changed to 2. That's perfect. The member ID has changed from 1 to 2. Now the next we need to do the same configuration. Before this, let me show display current configuration. Default priority is 1, but we need to configure priority 29 on switch B. Okay, IRF member 2, priority 29, because this is standby switch. The master is priority is 30, switch A. Now first we need to shut down the physical port. The same we did in switch A. 2/0/53 and 54. Sorry, it's 54. 2/0/54 and shut down. Just get from here, and you can see this is the slot 2. It means the member ID has already changed. Okay, let's do the IRF configuration. IRF port 2/1 and bind the physical port group interface 10G 2/0/53, and I will add the second port 2/0/54. Just get from here, and IRF port 2/2, and I will add the physical port group interface 10G 2/0/54. Just enter and copy this command. This is very important to activate the IRF port. Mostly engineers forget this, but please don't forget during the configuration, and save force. That's perfect. Now let me change the cable to switch C. I will connect the console cable with switch C, and then I will start the configuration for switch C. Okay, now I have changed the cable to switch C. You can see here display interface brief, but before this I will change the name. Just system view, sysname switch C, and you can see the switch name has changed, and display interface brief. I will show you the default configuration. You can see here this is the slot 1, 1/0/1, 1/0/2. We need to change the member ID first. IRF member 1 and renumber 3, because this is the third one, and just select yes. And the same we did on switch B, we need to reboot the switch. Just save configuration and get from here. Then we need to reboot the switch C. Just reboot and select yes. Why? And just you can see it's rebooting. The same, it will take 4 to 5 minutes, but in my case I will pause the video to save the time again, but in your case you need to wait. Okay, and let me show you what we will configure on switch C. First we need to change the member ID from 1 to 3, and then we need to reboot. It's already done, we are waiting for rebooting. And then we need to configure the priority 28 because it's standby. And last we need to bind the physical port and IRF logical port. And the same article you can read in very details on our website readtechnology.com. I have already published this article, like how to configure 2-switch IRF, 3-switch IRF and 5-switch IRF configuration. Here you can see Threeswitchstacking. You can read and completely details everything here. I will put link in description. But let's come back to CLI. Switch C rebooting has finished. You can see here. Now let me check the slot display interface brief. You can see here the slot has changed from 1 to 3, 3/0/1 and 2/3. It's already done. Now go to the system view and configure the priority. IRF member 3, priority 28. This is the third switch. And the next step, we need to shut down the physical port. Interface 3/0/53 shut down. And let me shut down the second interface 3/0/54. Just get from here. Now let's configure IRF port 3/1 and add the physical port group interface 10G 3/0/53 and 54. Let me add the second interface. And to activate the IRF port, this command is important. IRF port configuration active. Just run this. Now the important part, we need to unshirt the ports in reverse order, like from the lower priority switch from switch C. Otherwise your connection will be lost and the shutdown command, undo shutdown command will not be saved. That's why let me unshirt the port from switch C 3/0/53 and 54 and save the configuration. Now this configuration has done. On switch C you can see the priority is 28. Now let me change the console cable to switch B, and you can see here the cable has changed. And now unshirt the port on switch B. The second switch C is already done. You can see the priority 29 at switch B. And let me unshirt the port. This is very important. We need to unshirt the port from the lower priority to the higher priority. First switch C, then B, then in last we will unshirt A. You can see here the switch C rebooting start automatically after unshirt the ports on switch B. Just save the configuration. And now let me change. Okay, the sequence of port unshirt is very important. It's already mentioned. And let me change the cable to switch A. You can see here switch A is connected. Now let me unshirt the port from here. After unshirting the ports, switch B will also rebooting. The priority is 30. Okay, interface 1/0/53, undo shutdown. After unshirt the ports, switch B will start rebooting automatically because the standby switch will reboot, and during the stacking configuration, the master switch will be remain power on. Now switch B rebooting started. You can see the logs. IRF port 1 came up and came down. You can see this log here. Now let's check the IRF configuration, but we need to wait for a few seconds because switch B and C is rebooting now. Let me check display IRF. You can see here only one master. Switch B and C still not stable. Let's wait for a few seconds. Let me check again. Display IRF. Enter. Okay, that's perfect. Now switch C is already powered on, and you can see here standby is member ID 3 and the one is master. It will take some time. Okay, now you can see both switches are rebooted. Now all three switches are showing under the IRF configuration. Then member ID 1, 2 and 3, one is master and 2 standby, switch B and switch C. And this plus sign means that our console cable is connected with the master switch member ID 1. Now let me show you some link IRF configuration. You can see here this is the connectivity for 3 switches IRF configuration. And let me show you display IRF link. Okay, still the LLDP neighbor is creating, still it's not stable. Display IRF link, enter. You can see switch C port is up, but switch B is still not stable. The status is down because the LLDP neighbor is not created yet. It will take few minutes to stable all. You can see all logs. Now I think switch B LLDP neighbor is also created and it's stable now. Display IRF link. Okay, that's perfect. You can see all switches stable now and all links are up. Just in last save the configuration. You will see here the configuration will save on different slot 1, 2 and 3 and display IRF. That's perfect. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe for more technical video. Thank you.